Say a little bit about how you thought EKU changed when President Martin's time ended and Dr. Powell became president.
I always think of him as a gentle man. He was a gentleman, certainly, but he was a gentle man. And I think people, including students, felt that they could go talk to him about things.
Much more approachable. Yeah.
He was very easy for them to talk to, and he genuinely liked doing that. And so it really wasn't much of anything for a student to come to my office after they'd been to see him to say, you know, I've been talking to Dr. Powell. And we think that oh, is that right? Well, let's see how we might go about doing that. So, but he was
trying to put you on the spot.
Not really. I mean, it generally was. It was nice that that work was done for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you already mentioned that just before Dr. Funderburg came, you became Dean of Student Life. Same question as with Dr. Powell, how did the campus change again under Hanley Funderburg?
I remember a colleague of mine in Mississippi said to me, "Oh, Jeanette, I hear that Hanley Funderburg is going to come to be president." And I said, "Yes, he is." And he said, "Well, I used to work with him." And I said, "Oh, is that right?" And you know that I wouldn't be very truthful if I didn't say, "Well, what was he like?" Well, what was he like to work with? And Dick said to me, he said, "He's a nice man, but I'll tell you, he will squeeze a nickel until it has blood coming out of it." And I have thought many times of that comment because that was, in fact, Dr. Funderburg's style. I think certainly the faculty and staff need to thank Dr. Funderburg. We had 2 years there during his reign where we had 10% increases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I remember those well.
And that made a significant difference in your retirement and my retirement and everyone else that was involved in that. However, now, after having said that, and I'm as appreciative of that as anyone else is, but after having said that, let me just say that money had to come from somewhere. And when you head up a division that had to suffer as a result of that, i.e. residence halls. We didn't put roofs on buildings. We didn't repair guttering. We didn't do many, many things that needed to be ongoing kinds of maintenance issues because that was not his style.
Well, getting out of time, Jeanette, you've known Doug Whitlock for a long time. And I know you're not working here now, but what do you think about the job he's doing as Eastern's president?
I think he must be doing a wonderful job. I hear nothing but praise from anyone
even
that...
from the soreheads, I
yes,
say. Yeah.
Right. They all seem to be very, very pleased with Doug. And of course, Doug was here about the same number of years that I was here, and it's very nice to see him be able to now take the reins of the institution. And I'm sure he's learned from the good things and the bad things from those people, and has now been able to apply things that he's learned from the other presidents. But he certainly appears to be doing a wonderful job.
And it's even more impressive when you realize what a difficult time it is now.
That's
I think
right.
even worse than when you were talking about with J.C. Powell. Well, last question, Jeanette. You came to Eastern almost exactly 50 years ago. Just in general, what has EKU meant to you over that long period of time? Although it doesn't seem like 50 years, does it?
It doesn't seem like 50 years, but you know, I guess I could say Eastern is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, perhaps if you had gone to another institution, you would have felt differently, but it has been wonderful to watch her grow and to see so many people benefit as a result of people that work at Eastern giving a little more of themselves and a little more time to put into the growth and development of a student.
Well, it certainly is a different kind of place in terms of the kinds of characteristics you're talking about.
Oh, yes.
And I just noticed I skipped over one important question that I really want to ask you. You know that Skip Doherty was on this program recently, and he worked with you in student affairs for a long time. And you probably know that Skip considers you one of his role models. And I just wonder, for those of watching that know Skip and know you, what was it like to work with a person like that for such a long time? And we can cut this out if you want.
Yeah, I can hardly wait. We were frickin' frack. Because Skip was in the position that he was in, which was working with students and student activities and fraternities and sororities and organizations of all types, and because those people lived in the residence halls and we had them in programming and that kind of thing, we had to work together. And when I say we had to work together, we wanted to work together too. And fortunately, we were able to work together very well. Sometimes we were kind of working together and no one else knew what we were doing. But Skip was always very helpful to me. I'm not sure if it was Dr. Martin or Dr. Powell. I can't remember which one of them it was. But one of the things that they said to me was I was in charge of teaching Skip tact to make Skip more tactful. And of course, Paul, you know, if you know Skip, you know I failed that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I decided I better not.
You know, but Skip was there whenever it was said, and so several times I've had to say, I am getting a grade on your tactfulness. You need to do that. But
he's Skip.
Skip, and Skip can certainly. He has so many wonderful traits. I can't tell you how many students that he has pulled his money out and given them. I've seen him give them money and paid tuitions and done things that no one knows about. And yet, I've also seen him turn around and be so abrasive just to be ornery, just because he was being Skip. But he's been a wonderful friend all these years, and we were able to work together and did that, I think, to benefit many, many students that were at EKU.
I think Eastern has been very fortunate to have people like you around. And
thank you.
Skip mentioned pay it forward when he was interviewed, and that's what reminded me of that I'd missed that question. But once again, we've been talking to Jeanette Crockett, longtime EKU Student Affairs Administrator here at Eastern. Thank you, Jeanette, for being here.
You're very welcome.
For those of you that would like to watch other EKU Then and Now programs, you might check on youtube.com and search under The Power of Maroon, and you'll see several of these interviews listed there. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again on the next EKU Then and Now.